Test, test. 1, 2, 3. And welcome back to Larks Park as Game 2 of a 5-game homestand continues tonight here at Larks Park on a beautiful Friday evening. Weather for tonight is questionable as thunderstorms will be lingering around Hayes tonight around 10 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm warnings up to that time as the Larks will be facing off against the Denver Cougars in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Friday and Saturday's games all starting at 7 o'clock start time. All conference games, but Sunday the game starts at 6 o'clock, and it's a non-league game. Excited to get another game underway here at Larks Park, our second game on the year. If you didn't tune in to last night's ball game, the Larks pulled away with a 6-2 victory over the Dodge City A's. The bats came out firing in the first and second inning as batted almost through the order in the bottom of the first, and then in the bottom of the second, Trent Baker hit a leadoff home run. And after that, they never really looked back. The pitching was on point all night long. We saw outstanding performances from guys like Dalton Campbell, Luke Turbeek, and as I go to my notes real quick, and Logan LaPerriere. Those guys really stood out in last night's performance. A great Larks victory, and they look to get another one here tonight against the Denver Cougars. These two teams have been facing off against each other a lot in the last few years. The Larks joined the RMBL. These two teams were some of the most heated rivalries where things kind of got controversial and heated at the end of the games, as these two teams just always battling it out. As the Denver Cougars last season, they finished with 11-17 record, while the Hayes Larks finished with a 22-4 record, as they will battle it out here tonight. An exciting Game 1 of the three-game series. This one sets the tone for the rest of the weekend. So make sure you tune in to the Larks Network. First pitch at 7 o'clock. We're going to have a helicopter deliver the first pitch of the ball game around 6:40. We'll get you a good shot of that from up here in the press box. So be tuned in for that. First pitch, 7 o'clock, and we're almost underway here at Larks Park in Hayes, Kansas. As the helicopter flying over our heads to deliver the first pitch of the ball game, as they're landing out behind second base. Thanks to Eagle Med for delivering this awesome moment. I mean, what a really cool thing they did for the Larks tonight, as they will be delivering the first pitch of the ball game.
Bringing in tonight's game ball, pilot Troy Mosley. Flight nurse Face Winkleman.
Once again, thank you to our sponsor, Eagle Med, for delivering tonight's first pitch before tonight's matchup in the Hayes Larks versus the Denver Cougars. As 16 minutes away from first pitch, as we'll get you guys the batting order and defensive positions once again. As national anthem almost underway, umpires are all ready to go and might have an early start tonight's ball game. Thank you for tuning in on the Larks Network, as we are now 15 minutes away from first pitch.
the United States Marine Corps at the age of 18, where he served in the Persian Gulf War. After returning home, he joined the Ellis County Sheriff's Office, where he served as jailer, deputy, detective. Has been a long-time member of the Ellis County Drug Enforcement Unit and has been a detective and specialized in child abuse investigations, where he has helped countless victims. For over 30 years, Under Sheriff White has been a leader for Ellis County law enforcement and a true servant to our community. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please join us in congratulating Under Sheriff Chuck White on his upcoming retirement and help us offer him our heartfelt gratitude for his service and sacrifice to his country and to his community. Thank you, Chuck. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please join the Larks in thanking these first responders for their service and congratulate them on a job well done. Please welcome Chuck White and his granddaughter, Harper. Give it a rip, Harper. Representing Golden Bell Bank, one of today's game sponsors. Thank you, Jackson. Today's sponsors, Hayes Fire, the Hayes Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 48, the Hayes Ladies and gentlemen, again, have a round of applause for today's first responders. Please stand for as they exit the field.
Back in Hayes, Kansas tonight as the Larks will start a 3-game series against the Denver Cougars here at Larks Park. I'm Nicholas Elgin alongside Ace Newberger as we are here for another ride. Hank Corsair not with us tonight. Once again, he'll be back with us this coming weekend as the Larks, they're still here and they're ready to get things going as we have a new guy on the mound, Ismael Cordoba, making his first start at Larks Field. It's going to be an exciting one tonight as this guy is a highly doubted prospect who pitched back in Wichita in his high school days. He's from Panama, but got a chance to go to Wichita, Kansas and pitch down there. As we're almost underway here at Larks Park as a defensive lineman's for you. Trent Baker out in left field, Caden Ashton in center, Wilbert Espinal out in right, running it up the middle, and Tabor Stokes at shortstop, and then second base, Will Carpenter running the hot corners over at first, Gage Gilchrist, and over the third base side, Thomas Lissy. Behind the dish, Houston Russell, the University of Oklahoma native, as Ismael Cordoba to take the mound.
You can see their numbers from 40 feet away. That's not bad.
Ismael Cordoba, who made his first start with the Larks in Game 1 of the season against Dodge City on Tuesday night, was able to go 2 innings of work. Had a nice performance as coming to Hayes now in their first conference game of the season. Now On the Rocky Mountain Baseball League website, it says Wednesday's game against Dodge City was a conference game. However, on our notes and everything with our schedule, it's a non-league game. So that one we're not quite sure yet, but this is the official one we know for sure of league play. As first pitch from Ismael Cordoba will go way outside to the backstop for the first pitch of the game. First pitch brought to you by Simply Order, as things are just getting underway here at Larks Park. And another exciting day. The Larks were able to get the 6-2 victory this Wednesday against Dodge City, as first strike of the game from Cordoba right on the top part of the zone, the outside part of the box. The left-handed starting pitcher to take the mound out of Panama, attended Life Prep Academy. At one point, Ismael Cordoba was rated the number 2 left-handed pitcher in the state of Kansas via a perfect game. In high school, he struck out 64 batters in 57 of the third innings pitch in a total of 14 career gains and had an opponent batting average of 188. As Cordoba finds himself down the count to the leadoff hitter for the Cougars, and Ashton Wolf, the shortstop for tonight's ballgame, as next pitch to him will find the zone. Count will move to full here with no outs. As Cordoba comes set pitching from the stretch, fires this one, and will just miss the zone for ball 4. As our first base runner of the game will head down to first base for the Denver Cougars. This brings up the designated hitter and Carter Olick. We'll get to the batting orders for the Denver Cougar. Leading off, playing shortstop, Ashton Wolf, who just got walked. Batting second, Carter Olick, the designated hitter. Batting third, Owen Smith, the center fielder. Batting the cleanup spot and playing right field, Max Slavin. Batting fifth, the second baseman, Eli Athenboss. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Adon Lindham. Batting seventh, catching, Anthony Kaiser. Batting eighth, Jackson Snitko over at first base. And batting in the 9-hole, Dominic Guizzi over in left field. As we have our first mound visit of the ball game already here in the top of the first. As runner on first and Ashton Wolf with Carter Olick up to bat, as Cordoba, being the lefty, has a good chance to make a pickoff move. This pitch will fall down the zone for ball number 1. Cordoba, who pitched at Arizona Western Community College this season, his ball club went 37-17 and 24-14 in conference play and made it into the Division I section of the ACCAC tournament as the 3 seed. Cordoba, the 2-1 pitch. This one will be fouled out of play. Cordoba, who pitched in the final game of the season for Arizona Western, pitched in the loss, but had a great performance where he went 6 innings of work, allowed 2 earned runs, walking 2 batters and striking out 2. As we would get you more stats on his first start with the Larks in Dodge City on Tuesday, as if you tuned into last night's game, or those stats kind of got lost and Wi-Fi wasn't in our favor, so those stats are gone. But that was a non-league game, so nothing lost that was important or anything. As next pitch we fouled out of play as well. Tonight, Frank Leo will be absent, and assistant coach Andy Luton will take over the coaching job, as he got the lineups and everything all set for us today. And this one's going to miss inside ball 4. And we have back-to-back walks here in the top of the first. Brings up the 3-hitter and Owen Smith out in center field today, as we're going to have a mound visit and Keith Harper. And with that being said, we're going to take our first break here in the ball game here in the Larks Nest. First mound visit of the game from Keith Harper as Ismael Cordoba will head back to the mound to face off against Owen Smith. Back-to-back walks to start the top of the first, puts runners at first and second. First pitch to Smith here will find the zone for strike number 1. Owen Smith was not part of the Cougar team last year as a pop-up that's behind Russell. They'll get out of play and go off of the press box. That's back-to-back home games where foul ball has gone off the roof of the press box. As the 0-2 pitch from Cordoba will be put into play, be a ground ball to the third baseman, and Lissy will fire to second, get it in time for out number 1 of the ball game. As Wolf will move to third base, they'll get the out at second and Olick, and then Smith will take over at first via the fielder's choice by Lissy over at third base. As back in action now is the cleanup batter and Max Slavin due up to bat. First pitch finds the zone for strike number 1. Second pitch will be fouled out of play. As we're talking about Ismael Cordoba, one of the best pitchers that was on the market this year in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League and in the NBC, as he's got a really good track record where over at Arizona Western, where he appeared in 17 games, started 14, as a ground ball will find the hole through the right side, and that will be the first base hit of the ball game, and that will drive in a run as the Cougars will take an early 1-0 lead.
The second baseman, number 7, Eli Larks.
So Wolf comes around to score. Smith will advance to second, and Slavin will take over at first. As that ground ball just found a hole through the right side. As Cordoba will face off against Eli Anthony. As a ground ball, this one played by Lissy yet again. He'll fire to second in time, very similar to the first out ball game. And a pump fake throw. Runners on the move to home. As we're going to have a pickle here. Russell will fire to third. And here's our pickle, first pickle of the season. They'll apply the tag. And that'll be out number 3 as Cordoba tags him himself. Gets out of the jam, only allowing 1 run here at the top of the first. Larks bats look to come back up to bat and get another hot start as they did in their first 2 ball games, as the Cougars lead this one 1-0. Let's get you the batting order for tonight's ball game as the Larks allow 1 run in the top of the first, but the bats look to come back up and get hot here in the bottom of the first. Trent Baker lead us off. Caden Ashton second. Tabor Stokes batting third. Wilbur Espinal in the cleanup spot. Garrett Gruel batting fifth. Houston Russell batting sixth. Will Carper batting seventh. Thomas Leslie eighth. And Gage Gilchrist ninth. As Trent Baker will get us going here in the bottom of the first. First pitch from Nolan Olis will be a strike number 1. Nolan Olis, who pitched out of Miami of Ohio this college season. So he'll find the zone. Pitching from the full. Defense for the Cougars playing back up the middle. Next pitch will be fouled back as Baker will find himself in an 0-2 count here at the bottom of the first. Baker made his first start on the season last night against Dodge City. Not last night, as 2 nights ago. As went 1 for 4, came around to score twice, had an RBI and a walk. This one just missing the zone. Count moves to 1-2. As Allis thought he found the zone for strike 3, but Baker confident knowing that was outside the zone. Great plate discipline from Trent Baker. He displayed that at the college level last season and this season, and then with the Larks, he's just always shown it as he enters his second year with the Larks. The 1-2. This one will catch part of the zone for strike 3. As first punch out of the game for Allis will be caught looking. So that brings up Caden Ashton, the left-handed batter, playing center field tonight. Played at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. I keep saying last night, but in Wednesday's game, as we had a day off, and yesterday and the day before, they played Dodge City in back-to-back games, Tuesday and Wednesday. And in Wednesday's game against Dodge City, went 1 for 5, got a single, and came around to score once. Also batted second in the lineup as he finds himself back in the 2-hole tonight. This one will run in on him for ball 2. 2-0 count to the center fielder and Caden Ashton. The 2-0 pitch. This one will just be below the zone as Ashton heading the count 3-0. Will he have the red light on? As we saw in the first couple games, the Larks were not swinging 3-0 early on in the game. The 3-0 pitch. This one he'll take and watch it go down low for ball 4 as first base runner of the game for the Larks comes from Caden Ashton. As that brings up the 3 batter in Tabor Stokes. Tabor Stokes back over at shortstop tonight. The top 4 hitters for the Larks tonight, all the same as Wednesday's game. Couple of changes in the bottom half of the order, but it's early in the season as that's really common as Frank Leo, Keith Harper, Andy Luton, they all try to figure out where they want to put these guys, where they fit best and where they can help the team, but more importantly, help themselves and the players out. It's the 1-0 pitch. This will run inside. Looks like a breaking ball that just did not break as count moves to 2-0. Pick off its head back in time at first base as Ashton. Tabor Stokes in Wednesday's game against Dodge City went 2 for 4, 2 singles, a run scored, and a walk. As he batted third in that game as well. This one will not find the zone. As down the count for Allis as 3-0 count in Stokes' favor. We do know the Larks love to steal bases. Last year they stole 152 bases out of 46 games, but Ashton was not on the run here as another 4-pitch walk, 8 balls in a row from the starting pitcher in Allis, as we'll have another mound visit, this time from the Cougars side. As the Larks tying run at second. First mound visit of the game for Denver Cougars. We'll take a quick break here on the Larks Network. back in action as Wilbert Espinal, the right fielder, left-handed batter, will get us going with 2 runners on base. Tying run at second base, and Caden Ashton. Tabor Stokes over at first. First pitch misses the zone for ball number 1. Next pitch will find the zone for strike number 1 as 9 balls straight from Hollis finally ends with a strike there as Wilbert Espinal went 1 for 4 in Wednesday's game in his first appearance at Larks Park. Came around to score and had 2 RBIs and a double. As this one will be swung on and missed. Also got walked and stole a base as well. The Larks are just always known for stealing bases. As we said, 152 stolen bases out of 46 games last season. As the new 2 stolen base records, Damian Rees, who finds himself at the top with 67, and then behind him was Trent Baker with 60 last year. As this one will be put just fouled and will go towards the Cougar dugout. Ben Tienis, the first base coach for tonight. And Andy, it looks like Andy Loon over the third base side as he takes over the head coaching job. Frank Leo out of town today. As Espinal finds himself in a 1-2 count, going to have to choke up and protect here. As this one he'll put into play to the left side, finds a hole. As rounding third is Ashton. They're going to wave him on home. The cutoff throw is they're going to try to play the tag on Stokes. As he headed to third base, nobody was covering the bag. So that's going to score a run and advance Stokes to third base. So tie ball game now. Thanks to an RBI single from Wilbert Espinal. As we have a 1-1 ball game here at Larks Park. As it brings up last year's new member and Garrett Gruhl, his first game back with the Larks this season. Wilbert Espinal with RBIs in back-to-back games after that one. This will be put into play off the inner part of the bat, but it gets down in the left field. That's going to give the Larks the lead. An RBI base hit from Garrett Gruhl in his first at-bat back for the Larks. Brings home Stokes, sends Espinal to second. And the Larks regain the lead. And we saw this in their first 2 games. They came out the gate strong, scoring runs in the first 2 innings. As now runners on first and second with only 1 out. Finds a zone as Houston Russell comes up to bat. Back-to-back base hits for the Larks. Last 4 runners all able to reach on base. 2 runs have come around to score here in the bottom of the first. As the Oklahoma University player and Houston Russell up to bat. In his first 3 games, as we've got to see him play, he's got good plate discipline. Really solid plate discipline. As in last night's game, he had 2 walks of his own, went 1 for 3, came around to score, and had an RBI on top of it. And being the catcher, he wasn't catching last night, but designated hitter. But still, being a catcher, he was able to steal a base. And that's something coaches love to see, but you don't see it commonly anymore. As catchers, that position is the hardest position in baseball by far. And guys' legs get tired really easily. But Houston Russell was able to leg out a stolen base last night. You love to see it. As this pitch will miss outside. As runners still on first and second with 1 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As the Larks have a lead 2-1 right now. Ashton and Stokes came around to score. Line drive off the pitcher, and Allis, that will bounce towards the first base side. He was able to get there and flip it to the first baseman, and Snitko in time for the second out. But that one's got to be a stinger. Went right off the back. He pointed toward his arm, but it looked like it went right on his right lat. As that moves the runner, a great hit ball from Houston Russell, but just not in his favor as he goes right off the pitcher. So all runners will advance 90 feet as Espinal at third, Gruel at second. Two runners now in scoring position with 2 outs for Will Carpenter, the second baseman. First pitch to Carpenter will be outside for a ball. Carpenter 2 for 4 in Wednesday's game, an RBI and a stolen base. Played at Ohio State this year. Only had 2 at-bats. Got walked and came around to score and got a face against Michigan University, who is Ohio State's biggest rival. That one missing outside the zone. 2-0 count now. Prior to Ohio State, he went to John A. Logan College and was a 2-time all-conference selection. Spent his freshman season at Penn State, though, where he made the honor roll. Plays for some top baseball programs. As the 2-0 pitch will miss the zone as well. And once again, Allis down the count 3-0. This is the third time we've seen him down 3-0 today. As after that line drive that went right back off of him, you got to think that maybe messed with his mechanics a little bit. As Allis will step off the mound and get some time to recoup himself. Will Carpenter, brother of Matt Carpenter, who also played for Ohio State from 2016 to 2020. This one will miss down low. Ball 4 as bases are loaded here in the bottom of the first with 2 outs still. As I'll send Carpenter down to first. Gruel still at second and Espinal still at third. As that brings up the first baseman, Gage Gilchrist, making his first start at Larks Park. He appeared in the Dodge City game on Tuesday. Batted around the top of the lineup, got Wednesday's game off, and he finds himself back in the lineup today with the bases loaded. As this one will miss down low and outside. He's really struggling to find the strike zone as Allis. And even before the line drive that went off of him, just seemed to not find the zone with the first pitch strike, and he'll try to find the zone here. That one will miss down low as well, and he's not missing by too much. I mean, they're balls, but they're not too far away from the zone. So that's now 5 balls in a row. As over at third base is Espinal, as he takes, hey, if you see him at third base, he gets a running start towards home. And maybe that's what's messing with him. Espinal could be in Allis' head right now. Just messing with him and taking a big lead towards home. And that one will find the zone. As now 3-1 count. With 3-1 count, here with 2 outs. If he walks, he can drive in a run and extend the Larks' lead. Larks would put up 4 runs in the bottom of the first in Wednesday's contest. And that will miss the zone. Ball 4, and that will walk home a run in Espinal as the Larks will extend their lead 3-1. As apologies to Gage Gilchrist, we was not able to get his icon up there in time, but Gilchrist was just up to bat. As now we head to the 9-hole hitter, and Thomas Lissy As Lissy will put this one in the play in the shallow left center field. Run back as a shortstop. Gets called off by the left fielder. And Goodsey, and will make the catch for out number 3. Similar to Wednesday's game, the Larks in the first inning were able to almost bat around in the order, except today they'll only get 3 runs instead of 4. But nonetheless, they'll head to the top second. Larks lead this one 3-1. Back here at Larks Park as we got our pitching graphic up for you guys. As Ismael Cordoba did pitch Tuesday's game where he threw a total of 34 pitches, as this is the most up-to-date pitch tracker for you guys who's made the last appearance in the last 2 games. As we'll head back to the mound as Ismael Cordoba will head back himself. First pitch here in the second, that'll be a fly ball to left center field. As running to that is Ashton. He'll get under it to make the catch for out number 1. First pitch, 1 out here in the top of the second. Already a better start for Ismael Cordoba here in the top of the second, as now he has a comfortable lead, 3-1. Well, not say comfortable, but a little bit more comfortable lead as the Larks lead this one 3-1. So that ball gets away from Russell. Now inside for a ball. This one will miss the zone. Count moves to 2-0. Shout out to Tabor Stokes as Donnie and Tracy Stokes, his parents, are here tonight at Larks Park from Edmond, Oklahoma, here to support the Larks and their son in Tabor. Also, shout out to Coach Andy Luton as Jacqueline, his wife, and Arlie, his daughter. So they come from Garden City to tonight's game. Also, his mother and Debbie Luton here tonight, who's from Hayes. As that one will find the zone for strike number 1. Count moves to 3-1 here to the catcher and Anthony Kaiser. This one will just miss his own ball 4, as we'll have a 1-out walk here in the top of the second. As the first baseman and Jackson Snitko will come up to bat. 3 cameras on for you guys tonight. Getting you guys the best shots we can as the Larks, there's a chance of rain tonight. Severe thunderstorm warnings until around 10 o'clock. The wind blowing in from center. It's going to be hard to get a ball out of the ballpark today. A little pop fly running over inside to make the catch is Will Carpenter, as Stokes almost called him off and took it himself. But that'll be out number 2. The Larks 2 away as they'll head to the 9-hole hitter and Dominic Guizzi. As first pitch to Guizzi will be ruled a ball. As we said in Ismael Cordoba's last outing on Tuesday, pitched 2 innings of work, total of 34 pitches, as a fly ball to right field. Running over is the right fielder, center fielder, and Ashton Espinal. And tracking it down in time is Ashton for out number 3. The Larks put up a blank here in the top of the second. We'll head to the bottom of the second, see if the Larks can continue their early inning success. Larks lead 3-1. Nolan Allis back to the mound for the Cougars, as the Larks will start where they did in the bottom of the first, as Trent Baker to lead us off. In yesterday's contest, when he was in this similar situation, leading off both the first and second, he started the game out with a walk, and then his next at-bat here in the second, he had a leadoff home run, the first for the Larks this season. Here in home run friendly Larks Park. This ball will be put to the third base coach and Andy Luton for tonight, as count moves to 1 even. Update around the RMBL, as tonight the Game Day Angels face off against the Western Nebraska Pioneers at 6:35. At 7 o'clock, Colorado Rough Riders will face off against the Dodge City A's, all conference games. Ground ball hits the third baseman, and Lineham, he'll fire it in time to first to Sticko for out number 1, as they're able to sit down the speedy Trent Baker here in the bottom of the second.
The center fielder, number 8, Caden Ashton.
So it brings up Caden Ashton, who worked out a walk in his last at-bat, came around to score the first run of the ball game for the Hayes Larks. First pitch to Ashton will find the zone for strike number 1. The Larks this season, they play a total of 36 games. 23 of the 36 games will be at home here in Larks Park. Only 12 more away games to go in the year, as they already had their first one against Dodge City on Tuesday. The Larks, it's their 5th year in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. They've won 4 of the last 5 years. They've always been that dominant team. Last year, the Liberal BJs were able to win the conference, where they went 26-2 in conference play, while the Larks were 22-4. When the Larks played the Liberal BJs, they actually split with them. They played back-to-back doubleheaders. Now let's just do some weather and stuff, so they had to make up the games. As Ashton will hit the ball through the right side between the first and second baseman for a 1-out single, as he'll reach base in back-to-back at-bats. Third hit of the ball game for the Larks, as that brings up the 3-hitter and Tabor Stokes. As look at the standings right now for the RMBL, the Colorado Rough Riders, who only won 4 games last year, have already got 2 on their belt this year, as this ball hits a right field from Stokes, will go right to the right fielder and Slavin for out number 2. That ball hit directly to the right fielder. Didn't have to move too much, as now 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Wilbert Espinal an RBI single in his last at-bat and came around to score thanks to the bases-loaded walk from Gage Gilchrist, who gets his first official RBI on the season. Big swing from Espinal, just misses it as Allen will get ahead in the count. The Larks find themselves in second in the standings at the moment, but as we said in the pregame show, we're not quite sure yet if that second game was considered a league game. Our schedule says it's non-league, but the what's it called? The Rocky Mountain Baseball League Association, their stats and standings page, they have it as a win in the conference book. So I'll have to see, but the Larks will take it if they'll give it to him. As on the move is Ashton. He'll slide in the second. That throw gets past the second base, or the shortstop who went to cover the bag. As Athenboss was able to get it in time to prevent Ashton advancing to third. Ashton being a threat all around the field already in this ballgame. Had a couple plays out in center field. Has now gone on base and stole a base of his own. As Espinal finds himself in an 0-2 count, have to choke up and protect here. Lights are already on here at Larks Park as this one will get way, way to the left side of the catch. It'll go over his head towards the backstop as advancing to third is Ashton. And now the Larks only 90 feet away from putting their fourth run on the scoreboard. Espinal didn't have to think about swinging that one. That ball was way out of the batter's box as he has a 1-2 count, so will have to protect. From the stretch, this will be fouled right off the netting in front of us. More around the Rocky Mountain Baseball League as the Western Nebraska Pioneers, who make their appearance into the Rocky Mountain Baseball League this year for their first time. They got a victory as 1-0 on the season. Liberal BJ's 2-1 record. Game Day Angels 1-2 to start the season. Dodge City A's 0-1. The Denver Cougars, who come into this game 0-1 in conference play. And Fort Collins 0-2. As that is your Rocky Mountain Baseball League standings so far through June 7th. Two other games in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League are going on. As this one will hit the dirt. As after getting ahead, 0-2 count, Espinal fights back and finds himself in a full count here with 2 outs. Another RBI opportunity. A chance to extend the Larks' lead. The full count pitcher with 2 outs. Be swung on and hit foul. As once again, we'll head back to the batter's box for Wilbert Espinal, the sophomore who played at Murray State Community College this season. The full count pitch from Ollis. This one will just miss the zone for ball 4. And now runners are on the corner here with 2 outs. Which brings up Garrett Gruel in his first at-bat back for the Larks. Got an RBI single to drive home the second run of the ball game in today's contest. Garrett Gruel, who last season was one of the most underrated players. He was secretly and quietly one of the best bats on the team, as this one almost clinks him in the head. As he quietly had one of the best years in Larks history. He was up there with Tyler LaRue, Trent Baker, Damon Reeves in all stat categories. But he was in the batting 5th in the lineup, and nobody really kind of talked about him. Towards the end of the season, people started to realize this guy is the real deal. And I'll tell you what, he is a big boy. As he played at Texas A&M Corpus Christi this year, they had him with a height of 5'11", 205 pounds. But when you go and talk to him in person, he is a big boy. Doesn't miss leg days, we'll tell you that. As a 2-0 pitch will be put into right field, right to the right footer once again, and Slavin, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. The Cougars escape a jam with runners on the corner as we'll head to the third inning, a 3-1 ball game. Larks lead this one. Left-hander Ismael Cordoba will head back to the mound for the Larks. As shout out to our home plate umpire tonight, Hunter Fitzpatrick, and our first base umpire, and Jeff Keith. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, and we appreciate everything you guys do. As the Larks have a 3-1 lead, Cordoba back to the mound. Cougars looking to get a rally going and try to tie this game up, as the Larks have been able to put a runner at third base in each inning so far. The Larks rocking their cream-colored jerseys tonight, cream-colored sliding pants and uniform top with the blue cap, red bill. As next pitch from Cordoba misses outside the zone. Count moves to 2-0. As we're back at the top of the order for the Cougars, and Ashton Wolf worked out a walk and came around to score first run the ball game for the Cougars. This next pitch, this is up and high out of the zone as well. Larks play 2 more games after this one against Denver Cougars. Tomorrow, Saturday, they'll play at 7 o'clock start time, and then they'll play Sunday in the non-league game at 6 o'clock start time. As very gloomy out right now, as the lights are already on. Storms are sneaking up on us as they're trying to get this game in before anything hits. As swung on and missed there by Wolf, count moves to full for Ismael Cordoba. Struck out 52 batters this year for Arizona Western. And this one will be ripped and out of play near the Larks bullpen. Cordoba was named the Chapman Automotive Student Athlete of the Week after tossing 7 shutout innings against the Matadors in a 7-0 win over Paradise Valley on Saturday, March 23rd this season for Arizona Western. As that'll be ball 4. He'll get to the backstop. Rounding first is Wolf, as making Russell hustle to that ball. As a leadoff walk puts a guy on at first here with no outs. Another shout out to the Denver Cougars head coaching, as Mark Cerullo was back this year, Jordan McClellan, and assistant coach Mark Laskensky. It's a left-handed pitcher in Cordoba, throws one in there. Breaking ball looks like swung on and missed for strike number 1. Ashton Wolf being the steal threat over at first base. Cordoba being the lefty, you could see a pickoff move here and there possibly, as this one will be up high in the zone. Count moves to 1 even. Cordoba had an ERA of 3.89, this being his freshman year at the community college level for Arizona Western. This ball put into play in front of the catcher, and Russell will come over time, fired first, and that one unable to make the catch is the first baseman Gilchrist. And heading over to third base is Wolf, as now runners are at the corner with no outs. Ball just popped out of the glove of the first baseman for the Larks. As a new situation now with runners at the corner. The middle infield in double play positioning still. As this ball we put in play, a ground ball to shortstop, and Stokes fires at second, fires it to first. In time, they're going to call him out. Double play. A run will score, but a double play turn when the Larks needed it. As that does bring a run around a score, but that one was a bang-bang play. A great job by Stokes getting it to Carpenter in time, and Carpenter able to move the momentum with his body and fire to first in time to get the double play. A 6-4-3 double play, as now we head to the cleanup batter and Max Slavin. 3-2 ball game. As Cordoba trying to get through 3 innings of work. Nobody on base now. Cordoba, who pitches from the stretch, doesn't pitch from the full even with runners not on base. It's pretty common for relievers to not pitch from the full, but rarely do we see starters who pitch from the stretch, and it's all about what makes you comfortable. And for Cordoba, his comfortability comes from the stretch, as that one just misses the zone as well. That one might have might have caught part of the plate. But nonetheless, that'll be ball number 3. Count moves to 3-0. The 3-0 pitch. This one will find the zone as count moves to 3-1. Caden Ashton moved in a bit from center field, playing more on the left side, the second base from our angle. The wind howling in from center field. No need to play back, even in home run friendly Larks Park. No need right now as the wind has picked up, blowing right towards home plate. As the full count pitch, as Cordoba bounces back in, that one will bounce off home plate and be ball number 4. A 2-out walk puts a tying run at first base. As it brings up the second baseman, Eli Athenbas. And this ball will be put into play. Will go right to the second baseman, and Carpenter will take his time, fire to first in time for out number 3. 2-out walk leads to nothing, but the Cougars are able to get a run around a score, as the Larks still have the lead in this one, 3-2. Back in the action as Storms are coming, as trying to get at least 2 more innings in of work to be able to consider this one a full game. As Nolan Allis back to the mound, Houston Russell, the catcher, up to bat. Had that line drive that went off of Allis back in the first inning. As Houston Allis, who did not play this year for Oklahoma, but before going to Oklahoma, he played at Seminole State College, where he appeared in 43 games in the 2023 season, batted .391 with an on-base percentage of .531. Had 52 hits, 4 of them being home runs. While in 2022, he appeared in 37 games and batted .293 with 7 home runs. Hometown, Midwest City, Oklahoma has a line drive that's going to get fair down the right field line. That will go all the way to the corner. Rounding first is Russell as Slavin gets there. And Russell thinking about his third. No, he'll do a half-hearted run and head back to second base as a leadoff extra base knock for Houston Russell gets the Larks going. Good start here in the bottom of the third for the Larks as Houston Russell drives one down the right field line. So that brings up another D1 athlete and Will Carpenter, the second baseman for tonight's contest. Worked a walk in his last at-bat and was stranded at second to end the first inning. Time is called, and they're going to rule a balk on Alice, so that means Houston Russell will head down to third base with ease. And now the Larks have a runner within 90 feet from scoring. Left-handed batter Will Carpenter can just pull it to the right side. He can bring home Russell with ease. He's going to put this one in the left field, though. A fly ball that drifts to the right of the right fielder in Juitzi. Tagging is Russell. The throw from left field in time to throw out Russell from pretty deep left field. No cutoff needed. One hop got it there in time. And that's just a great play from Juitzi out in left field. I mean, there was nothing much Russell could do about that. It took a perfect throw and the perfect timing and catch to throw him out. As that is just unfortunate turn of events there, as now 2 away here in the bottom of the third. Brings up Gage Gilchrist, who had an RBI walk in his last at-bat. He'll shoot this one down to the left field foul area into the bullpen of the Larks. What a great throw. I mean, that is, as you just got to tip your cap, and the pitcher, Allis, tipped his cat second base, and shortstop, and Wolf and Anthabos, they all tipped their cats out to left field. Gage Gilchrist will take this one for a strike. Count moves to 0-2. Alice pitching from the full now. Looks in. Fires in. That one just missing the zone. Great framework by the catcher and Kaiser. A new thing that the Twins organization started teaching their catchers was when you go to catch the ball, start the glove low, and when you go to catch it, bring it up. And it's a nice way to trick an umpire and to give you the strike call. As a pop-up, we'll say in the infield toward the shortstop of Wolf, he'll make the catch for out number 3. A leadoff double from Houston Russell, unfortunately, does not lead to any runs for the Larks, as the Denver Cougars put a blank on the scoreboard. We'll head to the top of the fourth. The Larks lead this one 3-2. As back here at Larks Park, no players on the field at the moment, as we are in a lightning delay at the moment. As we said, storms will be brewing till around 10 o'clock. We're trying to get at least 5 innings of baseball in time. But right now, we're going to be put on hold, looking to be about a 30-minute delay. If anything changes, we'll let you guys know. But for the meantime, we're going to take a break and let you guys at home take a break as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still tuned in to the Larks Network, just want to give you a heads up. Tonight's game has been postponed. They will resume action tomorrow at 5 o'clock start time here in the top of the fourth, where the Larks will lead 3-2. Game 2 for tomorrow will start at 7, as long as everything goes smoothly. But with the weather coming in, storms are going to get a bit rough. So tonight's game will be postponed. We thank you for tuning in to the Larks Network. As the Larks lead this one 3-2, we'll have to see tomorrow night if they can pull off a victory. And heck, doubleheader. See if they can get 2 wins in one day. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Larks Network. I'm Nicholas Helgett alongside Ace Newberger, as we wish you all a very good night. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.